This terrible thing happened about 15 years ago. I was 20 years old and live alone. I came home from work, checked the mail as I usually do, and found a sealed letter. It was a blank envelope, and inside there were two tickets to a concert and a letter, a love letter. The writer's feelings for me were pretty clear and went something like this: let's meet at the concert. I'll keep my identity hidden until we meet, and I'm sure you'll be surprised. I'm someone you know. I had a boyfriend, and I had no idea who wrote this. I thought for a moment that I had won a competition or something, and I do remember entering one. But then, instantly, that I entered the competition only this morning, so there's no way that the tickets could be in my letterbox by the evening. Something wasn't right, so I just didn't go to the concert. I thought that if it's truly someone that I know, as soon as they reveal themselves to me, then I'd apologize. And I'm sure if they were a kind and decent person, they'd understand my caution. The day after the concert, I found a threatening looking letter stuffed in my letterbox. Why didn't you come, you idiot? Don't pretend like you aren't interested. The first letter was gentlemanly in a sense. This was a complete opposite. Back then, I didn't have a mobile phone. As soon as I returned home from work, the moment I closed the door, my phone rang and I picked it up, and then the other party hung up. This happened often. I didn't get a call or a letter every single day. It was kinda irregular. I get one week, and then the next week I get three or four. And this kind of thing went on for about 3 months. It was incredibly creepy, so I actually decided to move away. Finally, I thought I was at peace. Well, that's what I thought until 1 month after I moved to a new place. The same thing started happening again. I didn't get a call this time, but I found another blank envelope in my letterbox. There was no sender's name or address, so it must have been posted by hand. When I saw this, it was clear to me that my stalker had found my new home. I was really scared. I took the letter to the police station. Ignoring the other party is the most effective thing you can do. As soon as he realizes that he's being ignored, he'll stop. This advice from the police didn't really solve anything. And then the officer said, look, women who live alone often get lonely, right? And sometimes single ladies have a tendency to allow harmless antiques to their blown out of proportion. He laughed and just pretended that I was delusional. In those days, the word stalker wasn't widely recognized in Japan. The laws in place aren't what they are today, and I felt so sad that he didn't even try to help me at all. He didn't back me up. He actually took the stalker's side in the situation. I'll just move again, I thought. But around that time, my boyfriend and I were talking about marriage. So I just moved back with my parents while we talked it over. My parents' home was in the same prefecture, but it was way out in the sticks. So getting to work was a huge pain. I thought that at least I'll get rid of the stalker. I was wrong. Carnage and bloodshed were right around the corner for me. I finished working and headed towards the train station. On my way, a man stood blocking my way. When I tried to go one way, he stood in the way, and when I tried to go the other way, he blocked me again. He towered over me. He was peering down at me. His jaw seemed to hang open, and he was breathing through his mouth. It's him. It's my stalker, I thought, but I didn't recognize him. Why didn't you come? He muttered. For a moment, I didn't know what he was talking about, and then suddenly, I remembered the tickets. I know he wanted an answer, and I couldn't say a word. It was rush hour. People were all around us. I wasn't terrified, but I was scared. It was risky, so I said in quite a loud voice, for the benefits of the people around me, excuse me, please let me pass. When I said this, people around us looked in our direction. And then my stalker did something unexpected. He turned and ran into the busy street, and right before my eyes, he was hit by a car. You may think that it's quite cold hearted, but I just thought as I rode the train home, it's not my fault. I was kinda happy that it might actually all be over. And in case you're wondering, he lived. However, one of the stalker's colleagues saw all of this unfold. This guy said that it looked like I was having a love squirrel, and when the stalkers got hit by the car, he said I pretended not to notice her faint ignorance and just walked off, and this rumor was spread around by the stalker's coworkers. Every year, my company and other companies in the same link of work have a support day for a bit of friendly competition. I remember talking to few people, but there was so many people that I can't remember who I spoke to very well. Apparently, this is how I met my stalker. I'm usually really good at remembering faces, but I didn't recognize him at all. I found out that he came to my company a few times a week. I wrote in the personal department, hidden away in the small office, so I don't often see people other than the one I immediately work with. The rumors about me grew, and they said that we would often meet at work. Of course, I denied these false allegations instead of the fact that I was the victim of him stalking me. But I wasn't convinced that anyone actually believed me. Another shock was in store for me. I was done. Although my boyfriend and I were officially engaged, we set up a date for me to be introduced to his parents in his hometown, and at the point we will officially announce our plans to engage. The rumors had reached there years before I arrived, and I said before the suffering caused by the stalker wasn't well documented in Japan at the time, as they said you must have given the guy a sign that he had a chance with you. Somehow, you must have given him the wrong idea. You caused his actions. Are you sure that there is nothing going on between you two? With this doubt and distrust imposed upon me, my boyfriend was pressured by his parents to end our relationship, and I couldn't believe it. I wanted to escape, I wanted a fresh start, so I resigned from my job as well. It was over 15 years since this happened, and the ones caused by the stalker are still very fresh. My desire to work hard at the assumption that I would eventually get married and spend my life with my husband is completely gone now. I came to the conclusion that I would probably end up alone, all because of that stalker, and so far, I'm right.